There we go. I accidentally closed out. Guys, good morning. How you guys doing? Thank you guys for joining us. If you could, hit that like button and look what I did not do. I did not freaking share the stream to Twitter. Um, we have some really good levels that I'm going to go over with you guys. I needed this week. I needed this week as a little bit of a break because I'm ready to get it. I got a lot of work I'm going to get done over the weekend. Going into next week, I'm going to be ready to tear this market to pieces and take this loss back from yesterday and get it back. I'm not revenge trading, but I'm just saying I am so ready for next week. You guys have no idea. If you could, let me show you guys something. What we could do is we could hit that like button and we could subscribe. I am the only one on this stream right now. It's all good, right? Patience. Patience is a virtue just like the markets. All right. So I have a really good game plan for today, guys. I really do. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Because I think we actually may have some movement today, believe it or not, for a Friday. We have some data. We have some oil data. We don't have that much. We didn't have that much as far as this week. Let me write this out real quick. What's up, NASCAR? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I was looking at VERB started to go this morning too. BIOC. I'm going to cover them in just 1 second. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I had this. I don't want to. I'm not going to be ignorant. I'm not going to be ignorant. I was rolling through just some channels today to kind of see what like some of these people are putting out, and I'm like, what the fuck? You want to be long. Like, it's so funny because I've watched this person literally miss 2, 3 days of upside. No, don't get long here. Wait for it to already run 6, 7, 8 points before we can decide to get long. That way we're paying up for it and we're also making less. Come on, really? This motherfucker is not the person you should be listening to. The only way he gets through his shit is from y'all paying him on his whatchamacallit. Discord. That's the only way he's getting through. Right? You guys gotta really worry about what it is you're doing. No. If you're at lows and you're finding support, look at the daily. He don't even look at the daily chart. He doesn't look at the weekly. I'm not gonna call out any names. But I came on here and said it three different times. We took the longs at the bottom, and they waited till the following day when the SPY's already up 6 points, 8 points. They're trying to get long, paying up for it, and the risk reward isn't there. And he's sitting there telling people no, not to get long. Wait for it to break this level. That level's 6 points away, dude. No, you get long down here. This is where you get long. I did write down in the game plan a little bit of what I like today, but we're going to get into it. Just give me 1 second. Here he goes telling people it's not going to work out. Let me turn this real quick actually. Oh my god, I can't listen to this fucking garbage. Anyway, what's up, guys? So, let me get my scanners. Make sure that they're up and running. Yeah, BIOC, I see that. Yeah, BIOC. I haven't really looked just yet to see what we have and don't have this morning. I just kind of looked at the overall markets, the S&Ps, to see where we were. We actually did not. Yesterday was a key level that we could not break up above and open up above there today. So I'm actually looking for that area to reject. And I want to see if we can get back down to that 440 level. Let me see how this looks to make sure everything is squared up. It's all right. Um, I want to see if we can get back down here, guys. Right? See if we can get another test of this 443. But where would I want to get short? Where do I want to get short? I want to get short up here. I'm going to get short up at 446. Pre-market highs. We're putting in a higher low. But I still, what is the catalyst to break this level? That's what I'm wondering. That is my thought. Hold on. All right, because yesterday we closed up at this level at 445. Or no, we closed up here at 446, a little over 446.20. Let me get a half-hour chart up here. And I feel like this pivot high right here may act as a bit of resistance. Hold on. So that's my thought process right there, guys. That's where I'm looking to get to. Um, I mean, can we break above it? Sure, absolutely. Right? Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't think we break above it and break it, retest and pull up to the upside. I don't think we do that. I think this is our range, 446, 443. That's a $3 range. Right? That doesn't seem too bad, does it? Look at the past couple of days, your high to low. 442.75, mind you. 442.75. Right? Consider it 443 to 445.50. So that's a $2.50 move. That would be more than what we got yesterday. Tuesday was a day that was kind of unexpected a little bit, but not really, I guess. I guess we should have seen it coming because we seen the rollover. When you start seeing the rollover, just get 2 weeks out. Go get a month out. Go get 2 weeks out. You start seeing that rollover, right? Right here, you start putting in lower lows. Right? Go get time. If you want to play options, go get time and get it as it's rolling over, right? Where would your stop be? If you get in up here, put your stop, in an area above it that would make sense. Like right here at this double top, you broke that 450.150. That's it. So what are you giving it? 450 to 450.150. You're giving it $1.50 to possibly make like 5, right? That's 4 to 1, 3.5 to 1. It's not too bad. The only thing I think people have problem with is that they don't give it time and get in at the right time, right? You see the rollover. All right. Anyway, if we reject up here and we start getting up in this area, I'm gonna look at the cues. I want to see what other things that are going on. But if we cannot get back above pre-market highs and Tuesdays or Wednesdays close, I'm going to try and look to short Meta. I mean, it's just one that I've noticed that's weak. It broke above the 50-day. It pulled directly right back down. We've had that on watch for quite a few days, and I missed that opportunity. I have this week. I just did not want to trade. I did not. I just was so. I can't explain it. I was over the. It's just one of those days or weeks. I mean, like I felt like I needed it, and I'm curious to know if other traders did because we've had an action-packed summer. It's been like every single day, every week. It's just been non-stop, guys. If you guys could hit that like, thank you guys so much for hitting that like button. I appreciate it. It's greatly appreciated. Let's go. Let me bring up my scanner. You said BIOC. Just takes me 1 second. What are these guys talking about? Sometimes these guys trade the most illiquid stuff. It's crazy. Come on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just waiting for this fucking thing to hurry up. It's fucking slow. Alright, so Meta. Let's look at Meta real quick. Meta had some really wicked downside yesterday. I don't know what that was about. I tried to ask. I asked around if anybody had any news. I kind of looked and I didn't see anything. Let's look at BIOC because if the markets don't do anything, I definitely would like to look to. Was there news on this NASCAR? Do you know? Okay, recently reverse split out with a PR. Yeah, is this the one that did a reverse split yesterday? Because I heard that come across the wire yesterday that somebody did a reverse split yesterday as well. Let's see here. I want to look at also what do we have going on as far as the most pictured guy at the NASDAQ. Why is this not working? There we go. I got it. Come on. Give me the settings. Alright, this thing's taking a beating, man. I hope it's not done for. Alright, so this morning we are down. Obviously, where are we on the weekly chart, actually? I am kind of curious where the S&Ps are on the weekly chart. I know we're down, but I want to see it. You guys should look at these if you don't. I'll give you an idea. Right, is this the next stage of the downside, guys? Like, look, boom, nice rejection there. Are they getting ahead of some more downside? Is next week the week that we come down? Are we going to test this weekly 100-day moving average? Look at this gap we have here on the weekly chart, guys. There's a gap right here at 421. SPY weekly chart. Look at that. I wonder if anyone else sees this gap at 420. You know, it's obviously we still haven't made this area support either. We haven't turned back around, put our foot in the ground, and tested 420 yet. So I would expect us to. It says here float is approximately 2.6 million on BIOC too, by the way. I'm not sure if you've seen that or not. Um, all right, let's do it. Let's get into it. So that's going to be my. This is going to be my. This is going to be my trade, guys. Right there. Right. 446. 443. We break 443. We break previous lows of yesterday. Then we'll look for 441. All right, so Qs are already trying to turn themselves around. Man, if the Qs can just break this level, they've already made a rejection at 373.50. I mean, man, if we could seriously get 373.50 to reject again and get this thing to break this level with a vengeance, we could have a real nice day from 373 to the high 360s. But I think we need a catalyst for that. I know. I know we need a catalyst for that. We need a catalyst to get back down here, 367. Let's go to the daily chart on the Qs. You know you're going to have something there. Your 50-day. We're rejecting the 50-day moving average, team. All right, that's our resistance, the 50-day. The 50-day is our resistance. Know it. Look at that. Look how perfect that is, guys. If that was a failed attempt at getting back above the 50-day and filling this gap. It's so important to realize what's going on. If you look at the daily chart, that's a failed attempt back up to the 50-day. Today's going to make the difference. Do we break this level on the weekly chart and start heading lower? It's going to be key. I think today's actually a really important day. So if you guys have any questions, anything you guys don't know about trading, ask away. If I can explain anything a little bit better, I'm gonna play the other end of the field here and say that we do get a little bit of volatility, and I don't know what would cause that because I don't think we have much data. You have the unemployment rate for Canada, but that's not gonna. We've already gotten that. That was out at 8:30. Wholesale inventories. We don't have much to really take us anywhere, unfortunately. 9:30 tonight, inflation rate year over year. Why the hell would you do it on a? That's so weird. Used car prices. When does that come out? You have G20 summit. So is the G20 summit going to bring us some volatility? Um, New York Fed Treasury purchases. You guys might want to check out communications. We have CPI next Tuesday, Wednesday. Of course, it's on Wednesday. It's always got to be later in the week. Retail sales. That's this here. Retail sales, guys. Look at the drop off, 2 and then 0.4. It's a big drop off. This is another gauge of a recession. If you guys do not know, retail sales, non-farm payroll, and manufacturing is what they use for a recession, other than 2 negative quarters of GDP. 2 back-to-back quarters of negative GDP. All right, CNBC. Do we have anything? Do we have any news other than Apple and this Huawei, this dollar store shit? Yeah, well, we do have GM and union talks that we talked about a while ago. So let's see if we start rejecting this 50-day. Look at that, guys. There's another clear rejection of the 50-day on the Qs. Doesn't mean we can't pull back and hold 371.75 to rally above it and poke our heads above it and try to get above it. Let's go to GM. I want to go to, just want to make sure there's no, I wonder if this could be a decent sell-off, guys. Watch GM to break this level, if it does. If GM breaks this level, watch out. Watch out. I don't know if it's going to. Look at that. Actually, that looks really nice. Am I the only one seeing this? Am I the only one seeing this right now? Do you guys see that? That looks like a clear rejection of this area. But I'm not going to go all the way back past COVID. And look at it, just sitting here sideways, and it made that lower high right here. Made that lower high off the 200 weekly moving average, and it's just cratered. Like they got ahead of the game. All right. All right, cuts. Goldman Sachs laying off. I actually was looking at Goldman Sachs. See this pennant still playing out? I'm still watching it. So here's another one that we're going to catch early, guys. Did we just get a double bottom in on Goldman Sachs? Did we just get a double bottom? Right here. Is that the double bottom to lead us up and out? Do rates start to get pulled back next week with CPI and we can take Goldman Sachs a bit higher with rates pulling back because CPI comes in a little bit lower? I don't know. Not with fuel, but look at the RSI on the daily. We should at least be able to get up and test that 100-day again. If we can't, there's an issue there. So these are the things you want to start watching out for because like this is what will put you ahead of the team, ahead of the game, like being in positions before anyone else is even talking about them. And we've been watching this. Communications, I'm going to bring you guys that chart. So look at this previous double top or double bottom, right? And then look at the rally extension you got. Is this a higher low to start the next run up to 350, 345? Right? Is it? I'm wondering. I'm wondering. We could also have a failed breakout. Right? We could have a failed breakout. That could have been a failed breakout. Look at the gap. The part that the gap is right there is telling me that things might be, you know, not doing too well. You don't have any volume for it. There's no volume to the upside. So I think this cut news with them coming out saying they're going to start making some cuts is actually going to, they're hoping that it helps bring it higher. GM. I'm really curious what this thing's going to do. Guys, are we starting to put in a lower high? Is this it? Look at this. We're starting to reject 32. So, today I'm going to watch The Spy. I will keep my eye on BIOC as a small cap, but my plan today is if the S&Ps, right? If the S&Ps, if we continue to reject, I'm going to show you two things here. Pre-market low. Why am I looking for a rejection of pre-market low or a pre-market high? This was a failed attempt back up above this area of resistance. Right, this is a failed attempt to break back up. It shows you clearer on the cues, right? This was a failed break back up above this level. Not to say we can't, but if I pull up the cues, look at the cues, which was the 50-day yesterday, the 50-day moving average. You failed to get back up above it, right? That was a fail to get up. You wicked above it, sold off, and you closed below the 50. They didn't close it below the 50 for no reason. That just, So we're rolling it over. What I'm going to look for is to see if I find stuff that's weak. Like, see this previous pivot high on the SPY? I'm going to look for things like Meta. Meta's below its 50-day. What else do I have here? This previous pivot high for the SPY, so 446, I wrote it in chat. 446 pre-market high. I'm going to look to be resistance. I'm going to look to keep that resistance and see if we can get it like a decent $3 move to come back and test yesterday's low at 443. I don't think we get down here, but I do next week think we get down to 441. I do think we test this level again. I do. As you can see, we're just starting to kind of roll it over. If you look at the weekly chart looks ugly. Or it looks beautiful, as in, look at that's a lower high, right? Are we getting ready to go test 420? Right? Are we getting ready to test 420? I think we are, guys. And I think CPI may be our... I think CPI might be it. Right? I think CPI might be the catalyst that gets us to test this. You have a gap here too. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but you have a clear gap. So I'm going to look for stuff that's weak, right? Meta broke above the 50-day. It failed to hold it, right? It got up above it, and it broke. It had a really nasty day yesterday, actually. Look at that gap. There is no price action at 421.50. 420 to 421.50. Look at that. There's no price action at all. At all. You gapped below it and you gapped above it. And what do you have there? You have the 100 weekly moving average. I think we just started to put in our higher low for the weekly chart to give us that second. Well, we're going to start that downside. So I'm going to look at Meta. That'll be one of them. Meta had a nasty day yesterday. Let's look at the daily chart to make sure our 50-day. Look at that wick, right? You broke above the 50-day. People got squeezed out, and it did not close above the 50-day. It could not hold it for nothing. So I'm going to watch Meta if the S&Ps and the Qs are weak, which I think they will be. So sorry for the long, drawn-out thesis. It looks like it's trying to get back above it today, but Meta's just sitting here. It's so weird. It's like it breaks above it, they shut it down. It breaks below it, like here, and they buy it up. I think they're just pinning this thing at 300 in this area. They're not letting it move. This looks like a clear support now. I don't know what happened yesterday. Look at that. Look at that move yesterday. And I was watching it here, and I'm like, and then before I knew it, because I just wasn't trading. This whole week I've been like, I just had to take a step back. I had to take a step back. Because I was seeing it in my performance, right? I wasn't putting in the work. I just needed a little break. But that was I don't know why it did that. Yesterday on the live stream, I literally said, "What is our target?" 307. Look where this son of a bitch went. 307.02 was the high yesterday. I said it down here yesterday. Right here, I said, I think we pull it back and we see 307. There was a reason why I said 307, and the son of a bitch went to 302. I can go back and go get the fucking, excuse me, I didn't mean to cuss, I'm sorry. I can get the clip and pull it up where I said this Meta's going to 307. 307. And I'll go over that another day, like how I figured that out. So I'm going to look for Meta. Right now, it's holding support. You got to look for this previous high to the left of you. See if it acts as support. It depends on the SPY, right? The SPY, the only way Meta separates itself from the market is if it has news. That's the only way it separates itself. 299. If it's above 299 and holding, you got to look for the eventual upside. But this thing's just not moving. That's also the other. That's also the kicker. We can look for Nvidia to the upside or downside. I'm sorry, I meant downside. I gotta look at the daily chart. It's not too overbought. And I'm going over that now. I'm kind of looking right now to see what it is I want to play. I'm looking at Goldman Sachs to see if maybe Goldman can get a little bit of with this news about layoffs. You've seen here every time it's put in this little double bottom, bang, double bottom, bang, double bottom, bang. It's making this pennant. We're on the bottom side of this pennant. If somebody's wanting to think about a long, not that the volume's there, but you could see some volume today. Look at the daily RSI. Low. Look at the MACD crossover. Right? So I feel like today could be a day where we see Goldman Sachs to the upside and we see banks to the upside. Now, Goldman Sachs really isn't a bank. It's an investment bank. It's a little different. It's more a financial institution. Like, it's just not your JP Morgan, Bank of America. So that's what I'm going to look at. I'm kind of still going through things right now. So sorry for the long, drawn-out thesis, but I'm going to just look at, I'm still going through small caps. So pretty much large cap tech, whatever the SPY does, I'll be looking to short or go long. That's what I'll be looking for. And look at JP Morgan. It's oversold. I feel it. Look, and it broke its 100-day. I wonder if we can get a bounce back to the 100-day moving average. You know what? Actually, JP Morgan might be a decent trade, guys. Look at it. It's found support. Here's a trade right here. Beautiful trade, guys. I will have this on my watch list. Look, watch JP Morgan at... I want to see it pull back into like 143.50. Oh, come on. Look, they're talking about Goldman Sachs. That's so funny. No. Shit. Jim Cramer worked at Goldman. That's funny. All right, so there is my level there. I want to see if we can get JP Morgan back to this resistance level here at this previous low. Up here at 145.50. This is what I'm looking for on JP Morgan. I want to see if we can get a bounce on banks today. Let's see if we can get that. I don't want to fight the trend, right? This thing is in a clear downtrend. I don't want to fight that, but I feel like you could get a relief bounce, and kind of work your way back up. Might take a couple days. Hopefully that helps, Chris, right? This is just what I'm finding. I was looking at GM, a couple other things, so watch and see if we can get a bounce on these banks. And they actually already started, like Goldman Sachs again. Goldman Sachs started to put in a lower high here, right? It closed red yesterday, but it's putting in higher lows. Feel like that shift is on, like it wants to bounce. And we'll look to see if that thing will get up to 342, maybe 350. But first, we got to see if we can get that bounce. And that news with layoffs might help get Goldman Sachs to the upside. It might. All right. That's also going to help with the labor market. You're starting to see layoffs now. Seeing Goldman Sachs come out with layoffs, that's... They have a lot of employees around the world. That's going to help soften the labor market. Not like just them, but you're seeing more and more companies starting to lay off now. You guys noticing that? Who else just did it? There was another company that was just laying off. They came out and said that they were going to do some layoffs. Let's look at this. Look at this from yesterday, guys. Wow. Look at that big move from yesterday. It's a pretty big candle. Like I said, communications are starting to. I wonder how Collins is doing on that call on Verizon. Fuck, man, I should have taken that call with him. All right, here's the pullback. Here's the pullback I was wanting. I might get some. I might get some calls for Verizon, because I think this could be a nice bounce. Let me look at this real quick. Where yields at? Looks like. What is that? All right. TLT is still struggling. Let me bring this up real quick. I want to see where yields are at real quick. So yields are pulling back just a little bit. We got 15 minutes till the bell opens. It looks like the longer end 10-year looks like it wants to try and go green. What an asshole, right? Alright, so I don't think it's going to go higher. I don't think, even if it does, it may just put in that double top there where this is. Oh, we do have some Manheim. I was wondering when the Manheim data was coming out because it didn't give me a time. Seven 7.7% decline in automotive prices. That could be good. Here's the good news starting to come in now, guys. Do you guys have anything in mind that you guys are watching? I noticed also that like your cybersecurity stocks were also catching a bid. They're still like working back at like Palo Alto. There was news with I think, who was it? It was shit. I forget the name of it. I may just try and trade the SPY today. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure what. I'm gonna just keep my eye out on some of the like Goldman Sachs. I'm gonna keep my eye out on GM. I'm gonna keep my eye out on communications, because communications to S&Ps look pretty good. So look at this chart, guys. Look at this. If I show you this real quick, market's getting ready to open up. I'm gonna get my charts ready. Look at this chart, guys. Look at this. Am I on a daily? I am. The RSI is a bit high here. But look at this. Look at it finding support here. How do I... No, I don't want to do that. I want this to come out. I want to pan it. right? Look at this support. Look at that. Look at that. That's nice. I know, exactly. Yeah, yes, exactly, bro. Like I said, we'll look to get to 446. We get there. If it can't break above 446, we short. We know we can get at least $1.50, $2. But I'm with you. Don't just shoot from the hip. We get CPI, PPI, retail numbers. It's going to be a big week next week. It's going to be a huge week next week. You're getting inflation data, recessionary data. Like, it's all coming out next week. And I think that's may what help us. If we're going to get back to that 420, we may start getting it next week. If just looking at that weekly chart. But communications, guys. Look at that. This is actually a pretty nice setup. It's trying to find support. This is XLC to S&Ps. I mean, you do have you don't have supply all the way up until this area up here, right? And look at these gaps. Like, I feel like this is a chart that I might want to buy. I don't like the fact that it's doing this to me, and I can't really look at that. That's a beauty. That's a beaut. Break above that resistance. It's trying to hold it as support now. Do we extend? Right? Are we getting ready to start getting that second leg higher? Is this another form of safety? If the markets go down, they put their money in dividend type assets. Now they're going to get a price increase with a dividend in communications. And we talked about Verizon, things of that nature. T-Mobile, look at the day T-Mobile had yesterday. So I feel like these are gonna start. This is just something to look at and think about. These you catch a move like this. You catch a move like this on Verizon. You can get year out calls. You can get leaps for pretty cheap. And I swear these things pay like they can pay very good. They're a little illiquid, but when they start going, they become a little bit better. And I mean, it's you just have to stay where the liquidity is too. Like, there is that aspect, but it's just something I'm gonna keep on watch. I wonder. I can't do it on here. It's not gonna let me. I don't think. I didn't think so. So it's just something I'll be looking at and tracking for future. Watch Bitcoin. Let me see where it's at. Because it looked like it actually might have some trouble here. It's crazy they're having this G20 meeting on a Saturday. That's not too bad, I guess. Yeah, I'm with you though. I don't have much either, man. It's like that sometimes. That's why I was thinking about just turning to small caps. I don't think there was really any news other than this drug data news with I forget what it's called, like Zeltec or something. I forget what it is. Here's AMD, clear resistance up here. 100-day moving average acting as resistance. 50-day acting as resistance. Yeah, they're talking about that weight loss drug that I think there was supposed to be some kind of like meeting, like some healthcare pharmaceutical conference or something. So we broke this uptrend. AMD broke this uptrend. So I'm just gonna, we'll see what the S&Ps do. Maybe I trade the S&Ps and maybe some small caps. Right? I still feel like we could get a decent move on the S&Ps. I really do. I think we could get like a $4 or $5 move. Let's look at pre-market, see where we're sitting. Yeah. XOM. The thing that I would caution you on is if can you start to see how it's not, it kind of stopped going up and it's like starting to like roll itself over. Um that's not it. But what I want to say is if next week the data is like we get that reason to make, to come back down to test 420 because either inflation is still high and rates continue higher. I don't think that the Fed raises anymore, but I feel like you could just have the 10 and 30 just continue to rise whether the Fed does anything or not. Um, Everything's going to get hit. Everything. Oil, tech, communication, utility, everything. Bonds, like, we might get one of those pullbacks where you could you could consider it, pretty decent downside, and that's going to bring everything down. And we start getting that, I would watch out. That might be your second leg capitulation, maybe. I don't know. I think we're going to need something pretty big. We're coming up to, that may not also happen until earnings. Like, if earnings are just trash, like, we're in a weird time. So just keep that in the back of your mind that you might get your pullback on XOM and some of these energy names here pretty soon. Just keep that on watch. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you that that's going to happen, but if we do get horrible retail numbers, the inflation is still, like, we still get a higher than expected inflation. I'm going to tell you right now, everything is getting sold. I'm telling you, everything's getting sold. They're going to be out of equities. They're going to be out. And they're going to go grab that 10-year and 30-year bond, up at those higher prices. Or lower prices, as I should really say, lower prices. But that's still a nice looking chart. You've gotten back up to this base, sitting in a range there now. Now you're up in that range. Look, you are right. Like, look, you're getting ready to get a golden cross, right? It's trying to get that 50-day. It's trying to work its way above the 100. I called that out 2 years ago, last year on Oxy, and people didn't really want to believe me. I'm like, yo, no, you have a golden cross getting ready to set up, and what happened? Oxy ripped to $60-some. It was back here. And then look what happened. We went to $60. I'm like, yo, we have a weekly golden cross on Oxy with volume. This thing's going higher. And I was already in the name, so that's why I was already paying attention to it. I sat through all this drawdown, guys. I bought in here and was up decent money. I was up decent money, never took profits. And I remember sitting on this for literally, it felt like a year of just like losing, just dead money. So this was a time, I tell you that. This was a time. If only all of us could have just really thought about the fact of really what the Fed was doing and just bought fucking calls on everything, if not Tesla, and just didn't buy stocks, but we bought calls, and we just had every last dollar we had in leaps, we would have done pretty damn well, right? We could have did pretty damn well. I mean, that's kind of greedy, but still, if just next time the Fed's adding liquidity, go long. Quantitative easing, Fed's adding liquidity, leaps. Especially at that extreme. Like, that was an extreme that, you're talking New York City shut down. It was kind of once in a lifetime thing. All right, so let's put the SPY up, start getting our charts ready. It's all right. We got 1 minute to the open, guys. Sorry for blabbering shit. Good luck today, guys. I will call it out as I see them, if I get into anything. And secondly, Meta, Tesla, Nvidia, I'm going to just keep it. Let's see here. Come on. Come on. Let's see what we do here. Come on, man. Please stop messing with me. This thing's such a pain in the ass. Level 2. I don't really need level 2 for the spy, but I could use it. Alright, so here's our rally, guys. Here's our run up to try and test that 446. Alright, here we go. We're trying to test 446. And did you guys see AI? Did you guys see that move that AI made? It did the move in one morning. One morning, AI did that $7, $8 move that I told you guys about. It ripped. I'm going to watch Tesla. I think AI could get a bounce also. But look at that. It did the move yesterday, right? What did we say? $25. It did that move yesterday. I was kind of pissed. I'm like, of course you guys are going to take it after hours. So there's the spy. Come on. Watching video as well. Come on. Oh, that's right. You have some news with Restoration Hardware, some lowering of guidance. But I'm not trading that. Alright, we're working in the top end of that range. Let's get it. Alright, let's do this. Again, my game plan 446, and then I want to see if we can break this, you know, get back down to 443. If we get that type of day. Alright. Look at Tesla just running, guys. That's actually an increase in volume on Tesla. Somewhat an increase. It's actually a decent, that was some decent volume on Tesla. Wow. Shit. That's brutal. That's brutal. I'm not getting sucked into this. What's up, Collins? BIOC also has some volume. I'm gonna look. We can see. All right, we're getting ourselves up into that level. Volume is poop. The CGC starting to take off again. Yeah, this volume is poop, guys. Volume is garbage. I'm going to give the markets a minute to figure out what it is they want to do. What do we got? Here's BIOC. It's... Here's the thing with BIOC, guys, is that you don't want to see what happened. What do you have here? For anybody, any small cap traders that don't... You have a break to a new high and immediately rejects it, right? The volume isn't greater, but it's still... It didn't hold the initial... It didn't hold pre-market highs. It ran up, pulled immediately back. That's not... It's not a sign you want to see to be long. All right, so we are starting to be a bit overbought on the S&Ps. I got to use the restroom real quick. I feel like it is going to start doing the thing that I expect it to do. Let's see. Watch time and sales and see what happens here. See if we struggle and kind of roll it over up here. That's a nice double bottom, though, on the 1 minute. Look at that double bottom. Boom. Look at that sell volume, baby. There we go. That might be our rejection up here. Tesla's up in its 50-day. Tesla's up at its 50-day. So there's your rejection so far. Watch Tesla if it pulls back to 255 and see if 255 breaks. 255 is going to be my watch on Tesla to see if I can get a short on this and possibly bring it back down here and get back down to 248.50. And look, there goes the SPY on more increase in volume, guys. That's the exact plan we said this morning. 246. Look to be short in front of 246. right, so there we are. We're at Tesla's at that level right now. The S&Ps are pulling back with some decent volume. See why it's important to use the daily? Right? We just pinned that thing. Now we're gonna look. It's pre-market lows, that low. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's look for the rejection back up here. There's some volume coming in on the SPY to the upside. I feel like you're gonna float up around this area. If you start seeing some squeezing and that tape speed up, then I would watch out for a break up above. But I still feel like I'm in the clear. I still feel like I want to be short, guys. I'm still in that camp. Still in that the short side. Still in that camp. That could be our lower high there. Yeah, that is a break above and a hold. We'll see. There's that gap fill, so it filled the gap. Is he talking about Da Vinci? Oh, Adobe. There's another rejection there at that 50-day, guys. I don't want to front run this move, guys, but oh, I don't have time and sales up. Come on. Ah, shit. I just had it up to take the fucking entry and I didn't do it because I had to messing with this. I'm looking at Tesla short, guys. Give me another bounce, please. Please give me another bounce. Give me another bounce. I'm going to miss it. Fuck. Just going to be patient off the bell. It's only been 15 minutes. Give me a failed breakout up at that 50-day. Oh, wow, that's a break above on the Qs, guys. The Qs are running and gunning. Watch out. Yeah, don't be short. Wow, the Qs are ripping. Going up to test this area up here at what looks to be like 375. 375. Come on. It's fucking blue for a reason. You need to, there's another break on meta. Yeah, they're not. Right. Alright, so I have the cues up here, guys. You can watch NVIDIA also. Okay, no, come on. There we go. Look at the cues, just pulling back. Pretty heavy, actually, right there. Come on, we can pull it back to 372. You know you want to. You know you want to pull it back to 372. Which is that 50-day moving average. 372.50 cues. Alright. Oh, man. I don't know if... Fuck. I want to do this. I want to take a short on Tesla, guys. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want to get shaken out, though. Now I've lost confidence because yesterday I've just been kind of not necessarily feeling it. I almost took it. I almost got in that. And look, there's the push. That's why I'm being patient. Oh my god, I could have taken it. 45, 44. So 44 was the lows there on those Tesla puts. So is Tesla going to try and get above here? What are you guys watching? Do you guys have anything on watch right now? Wholesale inventories are getting ready to come out. So on this 15-minute chart, we have very low volume on the sell side. Look at that. Wow. Did it just start? I guess it did just start. As much as I want to take this thing right now, guys. Yeah. Okay. I would watch. Let me see. Yeah, see how we're struggling up here? The Q's ripped, though. The Q's just... So I'm pretty happy with my analysis, right? Test yesterday's close, or Wednesday's close. Is this where I should take Tesla? I don't want to get. It's not like that I'm on tilt, but I feel like I'm on tilt in a sense because as soon as I enter it, I feel like it's going to rip up on me. I guess maybe I'll just get it at a cheap price. Watch it squeeze up. 38 cents, 37 cents now. See it squeezing up. All right, I took a piece on Tesla. Wait, okay, 36. I got a short on Tesla on that rally up there on lower volume. So I did. So I'm going to just try and take my profits, guys. I'm not going to try and get cute with this. I'm not going to try and get cute with this. When the world of business is constantly changing, you need to stay ahead. So what about AI to generate new possibilities? That time in sales is looking pretty green. Or expand your business by forecasting delivery routes with real-time data. With the most experience in the cloud, imagine how AWS can transform your business. When do we have retail sales? In a couple minutes? Luxury that lets you feel infinitely you. I'm Tim Lanius, VP of Strategy at AmericanEagle.com. Our clients have complex website and digital needs. Asian culinary brand P.F. Chang's needed to reduce 256. 255, 84, 75. Let's go. Let's go. 82. 92. Probably get a bounce there. Shit, I should have taken it. I knew we were going to get a bounce right there. Fuck. I should have taken it off right there. Some of it. Just trying to 256.14, 256. Let's go. 255.84. No. No, no, no. No. No, are you kidding me? That first take profit, guys, was awful. That was awful. That was awful, man. Or maybe they switched to Xfinity Mobile, the fastest mobile service. Save hundreds a year over T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. Now I can buy an electric scooter. I'm starting a private equity fund that specializes in mid-cap. You do you. Switch to Xfinity Mobile today. It's time for Jim and Stuff Trading. Great piece today by Davidson about Snowflake. I think a lot of people don't realize that if you have AI, you actually need I. You need someone at the company who really understands. So Frank Slootman, who is the genius of Snowflake, is actually using AI to his advantage, and I think that people should take a look at this report or do some homework on Snowflake, because I think the stock is making a big, big move here, and Slootman is the guy you can rent the cloud. It's a great business model, and he's a terrific buy. Sorry, tough quarter wasn't too bad, right? No, and after he had spoken to me at the CNBC Great CEO Council, and he was very downbeat. Well, he's singing a new tune now, but I do emphasize that you do need some economic activity. Just watch the cues and like find out what's your leader, what's your laggard. We need some volume. Doesn't look like we're getting the volume to the downside. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let's go. 20%. Got that back from yesterday. Let's go, team. Let's go. Let's fucking go. There's another piece off there. Let's fucking go. Mm, mm, mm. Give me a 253 test. Sorry, guys. I got to make it a little wider. There's another one. 20. Look at that. Right to it. I just got out of that position, guys. I'm out of that position right there into that pullback into this area right here at 253. So I'm out of Tesla right now. I'm just trying to recoup. Just trying to recoup. Yo, that was big. I'm actually probably profitable on the fucking week. I went a little bit bigger than I wanted to. This may go farther. You got an increase in volume here. You got an increase in volume. Look at the analysis. What did I say in the chat, guys? What did I say in the chat? Look right here. SPY 446 rejection, looking for a 441 test. Obviously, if we break 443. 443 pre-market lows is the likely scenario. But if we are able, that's my biggest, that's the biggest range that I feel we can have on the day. So there it was, 446 rejection. Even just playing that small rejection like that can do something nice for you. That was huge. I damn near got 50% on those Tesla puts, right? It's a huge, nice 50% move on that one. That was really nice. So I guess you would just start to try and walk this thing down. Also, if you guys want, you get starting to get some volume there on the Qs. Just walk it down. And that. What do you think our target is, guys? Back down to support at 250? I think Tesla can get there. I told you guys that I was actually thinking the opposite, that we would get volume today. I thought today wasn't actually going to be too bad. I thought we would get some volume today. I did. I really did. And I said it this morning. This is why we take profits. Look at the SPY bouncing right back. There's wholesale inventories. What a nice trade, man. I'm really happy with that. I was really happy with that trade, guys. DocuSign, Tesla. There's your retest of VWAP on. Man, there it goes, guys. Watch the dollar on this data. Yep, the dollar's pulling back. This could help. Watch, if the dollar pulls back, this is where you're going to get your inflection point. That if the dollar does pull itself back a bit, you're going to see the S&Ps and stuff climb higher. So you got to watch the dollar. 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 I might go make another cup of coffee. Like I said, watch the dollar. You just play it with the SPY. So the dollar's dropping, SPY higher. That's it. It's easy as that, guys. As easy as that. Yo, if you guys don't freaking join us, it's going to get hot. So again, guys, sorry, I'm here. Um, you you gotta watch the dollar, guys. Watch the dollar and look at the SPY. I told you guys this thing's gonna pop if the dollar drops after that data came out. Dollar drops, SPY pop. Dollar drops, SPY pop. There goes Tesla.
Yeah, a lot of good trucks out of B of A today. Really good stuff.
104.06.
MB
How
16
much lower can we get this thing?
of China imports or imports to the U.S.
Guys, I'm
Let's look
telling
at
you right
this
now, we get a
close
bounce. We
today.
gotta watch. This is gonna be
Things that
key.
keep our eye tuned to things that ring a
This
bell
is really
in
gonna be
terms of
key
what's going on
because
today.
if this dollar, like right now, what I could do, guys, is I could play the dollar, just put the Dixie right here and play the SPY right next to it, and just literally play an adverse to it. So we have a 50-day. We have the 50-day coming into the picture, but so this is our support. This whole area.
Yeah. Between that, I'm trying to think what else. The Southwest Airlines guidance this week, the General Mills comments about the equipment business, Manheim, although not as deep as the prior month, you're still looking at almost 8% down year on year on used cars. Obviously, has the big impact on what we'll get from CPI next week.
There's Tom Lee up.
I think next week's going to be a turning point for markets in terms of people being more confident that inflation is tracking lower.
Wow, look at that sharp rejection.
Keep in mind that by far the
Come on.
piece of services in CPI is housing.
Is that our
That's
retest?
where the market's thinking is changing.
Is that our retest? Holy shit.
Indices which came out and showed that actually it's declining now, or the fact that more Fed officials are talking about trying to apply shelter real time rather than backwards.
It is. It is.
Is tracking lower than expected. And I think that helps. The selling that was front ended this month is going to turn into some buying, maybe starting today, but really next week.
Come on, man. Don't do this to me now.
Well, I mean, I think the sell-off in the Nasdaq, especially because it does seem like it was led by the Apple and the China developments and the potential risk of losing some sales.
Can we hold it?
That's going to prove to be a
Who thinks we hold it here? Who thinks we hold?
many reasons, but one,
GM did pop.
Apple is a strong
Gotta watch for news with them. How about Goldman Sachs? Look at Goldman Sachs, guys. I said it this morning. Goldman Sachs was a top pick. Look at the volume. Goldman Sachs to the upside was a top pick this morning.
corporate profit revisions have been positive. That's going to get investors more confident.
Wow. Fuck me, man. I fucking forgot about it. So Goldman Sachs. What do we got? So Goldman Sachs was a top pick to the upside. We've already traded Tesla.
Consensus seems to be that there will be a cut. It's at
There
least
was more.
in the middle of next year. And yet,
All right, let's put.
is that a suggestion that the roll-off in inflation, if it happens, is going to be something dramatic?
to me, the market doesn't always make sense. And what you're highlighting is two things. One is we know the Fed doesn't want
Look at the
to
dollar just dropping, guys. That's why you got this big rally out of the S&Ps.
say 2.7,
Right?
2.8 next year, and Fed funds stays at 5.5.
Technically, though, we do have the 50-day sitting there. It's just being a little
The 10-year yield
bitch to the SPY.
higher.
It's acting like a little bitch. SPY can't get through it.
The unknown if that's because of term premium changes or the neutral rate
And
or just
the dollar is nowhere near its any of its moving averages on the daily.
3 good months. What makes us think it's repeatable? And I think that as long as
But here's what we might get. Check me out here. Hear me out. What do you guys think about this?
backwards,
What do you guys think if this is a breakout
the uncertainty about the
and a retest
I think that's going to change by November.
of the downtrend?
We kicked around Walmart,
Right? We pulled out.
trimming some
You broke out, pulled back, held it as support, and then broke out.
participation.
And each day though, you kind of closed red. You didn't really close green, but
Yes, it is because I
I mean,
start this year people said labor markets
do
are
we
so tight.
do we pull back and test this area one more time to rally, or is that it for the dollar? What do we got? What does that mean for TLT?
It's kind of been sticky, but all of a sudden it's been easier to fill positions.
What's TLT saying?
Falling. Atlanta wage tracker.
Look at the dollar just falling, guys. You got to expect the SPY to go higher.
We're seeing a labor market that's tight, but not
Got to expect it to go higher. Look at TLT, guys.
if inflation, if wages stay,
I'm gonna be right back. I gotta get some crackers or something. All right, TLT pulling back.
cooling off now. I think that's at least a green shoot. IPOs are certainly really
Tesla's not participating. What do we got here? What we got here?
and really knowing the company and it gives them conviction. So the IPO
Novavax.
I think is very supportive of a year-end rally.
Look at Novavax, guys. Things going to the upside. Remember when this thing was like $600? $300? Remember when that thing was $300? That's so insane. Oh my god, that's the greatest short alive. Wow. Unbelievable. Video. There's a rejection of prior day's low. Not prior day, but like Wednesday and Tuesday. So it takes off the line. So it technically came up, filled the gap. Do we start looking for pullbacks now? Do we start looking for pullbacks? I think so. I think that is a pullback coming for AMDner. AMDner coming back down. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I think that's going to be a pullback for it. It's got some decent volume to the buy side there on AMD. They're trying to keep this thing up, but I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I don't see that shit happening at all whatsoever. And there's your double top on the S&Ps. There was rumor yesterday that the owner sold 50 million worth of shares yesterday. There's something you should know with that first, though. Because it's misleading. Because he could have like 50 million worth of shares at what price? What if he got them at a few dollars? Right? What if he got them at par value? I doubt it, but who's to say he hasn't had these since this stock was 20 bucks, 30 bucks. Right? And he's made so much. So 50 million, you know. So looks like there's news with Nikola. I'm surprised this thing is still even a company. You can see how it got a little liquidity. Look at these little tails and shit. This barcoding. If the dollar can bounce back and then pull back off of this level, that'd be really cool. Right? If it can pull back off of 104.8, be really cool. Because then that's when we could get the SPY. That's when we can get the SPY, the S&Ps, to start pulling back. Or going to the upside, right? Bounce up, pull it back. Yeah. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to go through some small caps. see what we can find here.
What's the capital market cycle going to do? And you've heard David.
There's some news with Baba, with Alibaba. I don't know what it was, but what did I tell you with BIOC? What did I tell you guys with BIOC? Look what it did. BIOC, when it put in that pre-market high, it broke the pre-market high and then immediately rejected it. Immediately pulled it right back. It did not attempt to hold that new high at all whatsoever. At all in that area. That was a sign to me that this thing might be done. I'm going to watch it. That doesn't mean it is. But now the chances of this thing going higher is really, really low now, I feel like. Maybe I'm wrong. But, you know, maybe it was more... See, 84 to 160, 188. It's like, you know, I'm going to keep watching. I'm going to keep my eyes on sight. Go through right now and go see what are our top gainers this morning. I don't really see any small caps, guys, or anything moving just yet. I wonder if this is. I wonder if this is going to be the move for Tesla. It's either now or never. It's either now or never for Tesla.
Goldman Sachs is not right sizing. Goldman Sachs has already right sized. Headcount's down about 10% over the last few quarters. This is typical Goldman Sachs cultural culling of the lowest performers. And that's part of the culture, and they do that every year, and that makes more room for new talent.
Which gets a lot of attention these days. Mike, thank you very much. It's good to talk to you about this. Mike Mayan.
KR Kroger Company's CFO says expect Q3 adjusted earnings to be in line with prior year and slightly ahead of prior year in Q4.
What I tell you guys? Fuck! Look at that! Look at that! Oh! What I tell you?
Shares of Kroger now up about 3.8%,
Wow.
25 cents off the earlier highs. That's Kilo Romeo Sierra.
Oh, wow, that. And here I was, where I made money today, but we were in the right place. We were in the right place. It might not be too late.
Do you struggle to put on your shoes when you leave the house? Time to call Noble. With new max cushioning, hands-free Skechers slip-ins, it's easy. I just step in and go without touching my shoes.
Tony? What are you doing? Our mom's coming over.
False start. Try new max cushioning, hands-free Skechers slip-ins.
With income products with Bright House Financial, you can turn a portion of your portfolio into guaranteed lifetime income. For whatever the occasion calls for. Bright House Financial, built for what's ahead.
We need a small business loan fast. I got this. Loan cash! Whoa! There's a better way to get a fast small business loan. Go to OnDeck.com, and if approved, get your funds as soon as the same day. Your loan is on deck.
New projects means new project managers. You need to hire. Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/hire and get started today.
Shark Tank, tonight starting 8 Eastern, CNBC. Welcome back to Squawk on the Street. Let's get a quick check on cryptos this morning. Bitcoin is trying to end the week in the green after falling
S&P futures 44.77 the high now, up 20.75.
Oh yeah?
potential Bitcoin ETF.
Is it?
Crypto spot market trading volume sitting more than
We have a gap fill up here at 449.
the month of August. That's according to industry hub
So,
Coindesk.
if the dollar can continue,
New data revealing something about apartment rents that we haven't seen in decades. We've got the numbers. Plus, Art Cashin joins us with his take on September's rocky start. And a look, as we had a break here, look at the biggest laggards on the S&P for the week. Led lower by Seagate. Some other earnings movers like Penview, down 10.25%. We'll be right back.
CNBC Crypto World is sponsored by Crypto.com, the world's fastest growing crypto platform.
what's this mean for gold, right? Gold can get a pop, right? The SPY will jump, gold will jump.
Now you need to plan for retirement income. Learn ways to avoid common mistakes, like being too conservative or not setting retirement goals. Have someone
I need to Let's see here. Well, get a bounce right up into the 50-day moving average. See if we reject. Because if I pull up the dollar, I guarantee you the dollar's also got a gap, somewhat of a. Let me see here. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I gotta get some water. Yeah. Just looking at it differently. Excuse me, or looking at it from being upside down. Yeah, that would be the resistance area right there. Would be right at the 50-day moving average. Right? That would be right there, guys. That's where the dollar would look to find support to bounce up. If GLD gets up there, you can expect the dollar to probably bounce. At least get a bounce. Doesn't mean it's going to hold the bounce. We got to see what the data is. It gets that bounce. You can see gold reject off of that level, and everything will start making sense. You know what I mean? You can compare this chart and the dollar and kind of see where it is we're going and what it is that we're doing. It's really not that hard. It may take some a little longer than others to fully really see what's going on. But with time and, asking questions and a little bit of education, you can do this. Good morning, buddy. How you doing today? Nice, nice, nice. That's what's up. I was thinking about coin yesterday. There this past week. It's funny you say that. I was thinking about that. And that's actually a good idea to play like Bitcoin and stuff like that. Especially if this dollar can pull itself back a little bit. I don't think it really gets a pullback or even goes higher. I don't think it goes higher or too much lower until next week's data. Like there's the SPY rejecting the 50-day, so again, point being made. But that's what's up, man. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that you made something happen. I'm just happy that I was able to put on a green trade because I was feeling a little tired, man. I was feeling a little just, the whole summer. It was like even from last winter. You guys got to understand for the past year and a half, right? We've been in this bear market ever since COVID, and it has just been non-stop since then. We had a period where we got this rally off of 420 and got to where we are now, but now the volatility's back, right? And I was just tired. I really needed that just time, like not stressing about being in or not in a position. So, and I'm ready to get back to work, ready to go over. I'm going to go over so many charts this weekend. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put out a weekend video Saturday and just give an explanation of like and post the best setups. And so this was a top idea was Goldman Sachs this morning, and it ended up working out. And I'm a little upset that I didn't watch it. It's a pretty nice move. All right, it's a $3 move on Goldman Sachs. It's not too bad.
Notion that at least Morgan Stanley thinks the market's hinting at, and that is that China truly turns more inward and puts all kinds of operating profit at risk.
All right, so SPY's pulling back off of the 50-day. We have Art cashing on. I'm going to listen to him real quick. Here, let me put this on for you guys too, because you guys should hear this.
Full-scale war, not quite yet. We've got a way to go.
It doesn't sound like you think yields or certainly oil have given enough solace to the bulls to make a run here.
Well, the yields, I mean, you could take any news ticker you have and throw it out the window. The market is slavishly following the yield on the 10-year. There's an important testing area between 4.25 and 4.35. And it could be when it starts to get up maybe not a world-class event, but an important event. And I do think it means that China is upping the ante. But full-scale war, not quite yet. We've got a way to go.
It doesn't sound like you think yields or certainly
Longest
oil have
trader on the
given
floor
enough
of the NASDAQ.
solace to the bulls
New
to
York
make a run
Stock
here.
Exchange right there.
Well, the yields, I mean, you could take any news ticker you have and throw it out the window. The market is slavishly following the yield on the 10-year. There's an important testing area between 4 and 4. When it starts to get up around 4.25, that starts to put some negative pressure on equities. If they were to get up to 430, then that would put extra pressure on. And heaven forbid we get up to 435, then I think you'd see a short selling show up. So for now, the fact that the yield has eased back from 425 toward 420 is what has given us the bids that we have in the market today. And I think
That's what we said.
you could virtually ignore any news that's out there. I mean, the Chinese news is important. Everything else is to be watched. But as to what's moving the market, it's purely the yields. They've got these algorithms trained. And, if you're playing the game at home, folks, just watch that ranging yields down around 420. You've got bids coming into the equity market. You get up around 425, those bids will disappear. Will sellers show up? Yes, if you get up above 425 toward 430. So it's a
I'm calling for that next week if this data comes
On that
in
note, Art, I
the
feel
way
like
I'd expect it.
there's a split and mixed opinion about where the trend of yields goes. You can make the argument that yields should come down as the economy continues to cool off, as inflation continues to cool off, though you could also make the case for higher long-term yields on the back of what's happening in Washington and the fiscal irresponsibility and the debt numbers and the debt issuance. Where do you stand?
Well, you raise an interesting point. There is still a lot of unspent stimulus money built into these things, and everybody seems to forget. We all go back and pick on Arthur Burns, and the Fed was tightening, and then it kind of relented, and then inflation got out of hand. No, actually, what was happening then, if you are as old as I am, or can go back and check on some history, you will see that there again, you had fiscal spending going on, and that's what kind of screwed up the Fed. And I think the Fed has got to be very careful here to see what happens with some of that money still in those stimulus programs. Now, I know Powell doesn't like to call attention to it and say anything about fiscal spending policy, but it is a factor. It is something we have got to watch, and if it were to perk up again, then you'd see they'd have trouble. And as to Sarah, what raised it? I know you're on top of this. We've had a lot of corporate issuance over the last 4 days, and
It's going to be
that
HYG.
was big enough. People started to think it was going to go out of hand. We still are having quantitative tightening. The Fed is narrowing its balance sheet. It dropped in another $20 billion or so in yesterday's report. So what we've got to watch for here
LQD.
is there more issuance either by the government or by the corporations. That appears to have abated. If it has, then that'll give us some relief in bond yield. But the critical thing for the yields is they made a high up at the 435.
I think you got to watch
So
the
the
dollar.
425 to 435 yield on the 10-year is critical in everybody's mind.